Mom definitely said, "Where's Pooh?" I said, "Oh no,
I can't
Mom,
even get with
really?"
it. No,
It's
no.
it's what it is. It's, when I was a shorty, you know what I'm saying?
When I was a short,
With the oxtails.
Now with the oxtails, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm an adult with the
oh,
oxtails,
not
and
the
I'm still
oxtail, Lord
still out
Jesus.
here beautifying the world and whatnot. You know what I'm
With the
saying?
luxurious skin.
Baby girl at the store, they call me Teddy Ruxpin. I said, "What? You
Oh
trying to
my!
get a hug, boo? You know what I mean?"
I can't even
But
do it.
2023, I'm living different. You know what I'm saying? I'm,
Living
Y'all
different.
silly.
I'm living
Oh my
different.
God! I'm not doing this.
I'm trying to,
I'm
like I said,
not doing this.
I'm trying to cuddle. You know
Look
what
for
I'm saying?
for those. Make sure. Hey, look for those who are about to tap in. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, do whatever. Hit the button. It is the full 94 here on MTMV Sports. Yo, it's a special day. We took yesterday off because of Christmas. Obviously, Tuesday. Wanted to come in. Christmas Day gameplay yesterday. We're just gonna have an open forum at this point. Whoever decides to tap in and talk with us, we're gonna talk back to you. And I like this. So I want to make sure we come in. We may even tap in with a would you rather. I am not sure, but I may come in for
Ooh.
people who get to watch with us. So I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? The
Like,
goal
would you?
really is the statement is we try to really get unproblematic to be problematic because it ain't too hard for getting his feelings. You know what I mean? It is what it
I'm
is.
telling you, you see how fine she look. I'm not trying to be problematic. How you doing, love? How
What you say?
boo?
White is her color, bro? That's what you're
You
saying.
know what I'm saying? Every color, see color. How you doing, mama?
Oh my
I
lord.
ain't got no beef with you today, sweetheart. You know what I mean?
I hope not. We need one good day.
Well,
One good day.
you gotta stop letting Miles deter you from me. You know what
Here
I'm
we go.
saying?
I don't understand. It's
The
always
best.
me, ain't it?
No,
The
because you
goal.
always be starting a conversation in pregame, and then
Yeah.
when we get to the game, it's
See,
we're going at it.
I'm gonna tell you how I tell the Jones, yo, just let my fluff adorn you. You know what I'm saying? Just fall into the magic.
I'm not even.
Cool.
I
You know
can't
what I mean?
even. He said, "Look now, for those watching, this is normal conversation for Mr. Wilders. This is nothing new.
Oh yeah, what you
He
say?
hasn't
What you
flew in
get?
these games and these statements to speak to these ladies. I don't really know what it is, but
And I'm a gentleman. You understand? Gentle man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But if I gotta be a problem, I'll be a problem.
But
You
I
know,
thought you was unproblematic.
I'm unproblematic, but the ladies gotta know that I'm a protector at heart. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm Pooh, but Pooh got grizzly teeth underneath these joints, so I'm with it at all times. You know what I'm saying? So, don't
no, man.
don't.
I like one. I
Well,
like
since
one of
you
the cool sayings from my boy Toby Nwinwe. He start off his joy. He said, I'm really non-violent, but if you ain't, I'm on the same thing. Just it's that simple.
it's
It's
that
that
simple.
simple. I really ain't here to do nothing, but that's where you want to go. We can go.
I tell people all the time, yo, I'm with it. You know what I mean? I can't say the last word, but it's at all times, yo. I'm about that
All
action
times, all
at all
times,
times.
all times.
Your boy came tapped in today, man.
Because we know the
What
vibe,
up,
bro.
Crispy?
Hey, Crispy.
It's weird. It's weird when you don't understand it and you at home playing with feet, crispy. You know what I'm saying? So you never vibe with it. But I'm cool with that.
It's silly.
I accept
Man,
you for what you are.
let's get to these games, man. Look, we
Right.
gonna definitely shout out to the squad, man. Let's run this thing real quick for the MTMV sports fans out there, man. Get to it. It is the Full 94 podcast here on MTMV Sports. You know what I'm talking about. We in here. Let's talk basketball. See, how are you feeling this fine evening?
I'm okay.
You feeling good over there, up there in the corner.
It's freezing.
Bro, oh yeah, you get it. He don't. So Will the only one that ain't get the feels that we got.
Hold up. No. It was 39 on
Bro,
Saturday.
chill out, bro. We was in single digits, my boy.
Right.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm in tropical weather. That's not my ministry. You understand? That's not my. So when I feel it, and I'm a polar bear, like, so I was still out here.
Oh
you know what I'm
my
saying?
God.
I was still out here in like shorts and I had on like some Philly shorts and a
polar
sweater.
bearing around, huh?
Yeah, my skin was still popping. Wakandan water do that for you, but it was mad cold, B, and I don't live like that no more.
I mean, I feel it. I feel it. Let's get to this first game, man. Especially since Will it's not your ministry and you talking through where you at and showing off that it's plus 30 when we in the teens and single digits around here up north and down south, man. Let's talk about the 76ers and Knicks game.
Yeah.
I think at one point there was a point where I was like, they're gonna lose this game. There was a moment I was like, they might lose this. What I will say though is I like both of your squads, right? I like both of those squads, right? I like the way that the basketball is being played. Obviously, New York is on different wavelength this season than they have been in the past seasons. We expect nothing less but losses from New York, and they've been on their Grizzly this season, right? So I appreciate that. We know what Philly can do with the roster that they have when everybody is fully healthy. What did you take from that game? I mean, you guys, what was the score? 119-114, I believe. You guys won by like 5 or 6 points. What do you take from that game coming into the rest of the second half of the season?
That we're finally starting to turn the corner. I love to see what Joel and James are finally doing. The one thing that you got to notice too, though, is that for some reason the Knicks were doubling Harden, and Harden was like smartly kicking it out, and I was just like, why?
It's not a smart idea.
Yeah, like I didn't understand like why, like what was the purpose of that. But that's Tom Thibodeau. That's what he does. Crispy's bugging.
You know he a Lynn fan for real.
I do want to see what happens when Maxey comes back, as far as how continuous we are with that. I like the fact that Niang is just hitting jumpers. That's a dog, man. Like he
was one of those.
Yeah, he's one of those players that like I love to see in Philly because like he with it. Like I forget something happened with Tobias like late in like the third or fourth quarter, and Yang was like they're ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I love to see that.
And not only is he a dog, he had the highest plus minus on your team during that game at plus 17.
He had 4 threes in the fourth quarter.
Solid. So not only is he solid in the dog, he's efficient.
I want to thank the Grizzlies and my boy C. Micah for the man Melton, because Melton is nice and I love it. And this is the type of player that I've been begging for the Sixers to get for years. Yeah. And I love to see it. But I definitely want to continue to see what's going to happen. Like I said, when Maxey comes back, see if Doc, starts to make. He would look like he was making some adjustments in the second half, which I was shocked by, because in the fourth quarter, I think the Knicks only scored 16 points after like going crazy the first 3 quarters. So
they had 27 assists at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, so like I want to see more of that though.
Definitely, I'm not mad at that. Now, as you're seeing this, you look at the 8-game winning streak the Philly is on right now, and solid in what they're doing. Are you seeing them as a top tier Eastern Conference team that has a fair shot at the title this year?
They're a problem. That's how I felt after watching the game. They're a problem. Joel Embiid is on a whole other different tangent right now, playing basketball. Period. But like I told you yesterday on the phone, they are definitely a championship team. Yeah. But in a 7-game series with 3 minutes left, is Doc going to make the correct adjustments?
Bro, when she said that statement verbatim to me yesterday on the phone. She's like, the problem is at the end of the game, it's game 7, 3 minutes ago. I don't trust.
He showed some type of adjustments in that game, but it's like, what are you gonna do if you're playing the Bucks or if you're playing the Celtics? And it's and then Jalen Brunson go out.
Yeah, he went out sometime in the fourth quarter. I think what was negative too for the Knicks was, I don't know what happened with RJ Barrett, but he's been off. I think he went for like 1 for 6. Like he was frustrating some of his teammates because he was literally trying to go in and just win the game by himself. And they was like frustrated because there was open passes he could have made and he wasn't making it. But shout out to Julius Randle though. Even though I don't trust Kentucky big men, I tell you that all the time. First 3 quarters, we was not covering Julius and he was making us pay for it. So
pay for it. It would. When it was the first 3 quarters, I couldn't tell you who was going to win.
Yeah,
I could not tell you that. I could not say Philly got this game by the end of the third quarter. I definitely couldn't do that. Because
they did not have any kind of lead until the fourth, I knew the Sixers was going to win. Now, if the Sixers was up by like 20, I was like, yeah. I'd been like, yeah, the Sixers not going to win this game because I know my team. But because like they played from behind the entire time, I knew like in the fourth quarter, like it was going to pop off.
Yeah, they were on a 21-4 run and with 6 minutes left in the fourth.
Yeah.
Shout out to Krispy Kreme, man. I can only imagine Wood just being upset not being on a late night phone call with Sia Miles talking the 76ers.
I ain't gonna lie. I was busy yesterday, so
I ain't mad at it at all, man. Look, let's get to this next one, man. I I think like both of you said, I'll piggyback off of that. I like both of those squads. Obviously, Philly is the better team, and they'll have a deeper run in the playoffs. But I think Knicks, they can make some noise in the early rounds of the playoffs. I think they will. But obviously, I think at the end they're going to falter. They need another piece.
Mm-hmm.
RJ, Jalen.
I need a closer. I think a closer because
Julius. I mean, he was that for that one season, I believe, and since then he hasn't really been what he lived up to.
I don't think he wants that though. I don't think he wants that position to close out a game.
It don't seem like it. It don't seem like it at all. But we'll definitely see. But they're gonna definitely need a closer because Jalen, he's easy to key on, and he's not a defensive liability. But I think if you're gonna go to him and go say, hey, go get us a bucket, we're trying to win the game. That's a hard task for Brunson to be for anybody. I'm just gonna put my best defender on you. But if you talk about a Kawhi or PG or somebody long and wide like that, like it's gonna be hard to get the ball up.
It's really a Thibodeau team though. Like if you look at it, this team has like the same type of makeup as like those Bulls teams back in the day. As much as you like Derrick Rose, you really couldn't count on those Bulls teams to be like fully in for 82 games. They might shock you in the playoff series, but that's a Thibodeau team. So, I mean, it is what it is. I ain't gonna lie, I would love to see Mark Jackson coach that team, especially with Jalen Brunson.
Solid.
I would love him to be coaching. Period.
Facts.
Facts. Yeah. I think he definitely. I even love just hearing him call games because it's just different.
The knowledge behind what he's talking about. The way.
But I also like previous coaches when you talk about the Van Gundy brothers. Like you appreciate somebody who's coached it, knows it, sees it, and can call it accurately. You know what I mean?
Accurately every time.
It just feels good. Yeah, I definitely love that. I mean, it's gonna be hard to go to this next game, but the Lakers and the Mavs. Bron ends up with what 38? I want to say 38.
Yep.
38, 6-5.
Yep.
Doncic goes for 32, 9-9.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in essence, this is what I took from the game. I'll let y'all do your thing. 1, LeBron needs some help. 2, LeBron is old. Like that. This is very hard. Like because I understand he can give you 40 whenever he feels like it. It's just something he could do. But I don't know how long it's gonna last. That's the thing for me. Like if he gives you 38 in the first 3 quarters, I don't know what's happening in the fourth. I don't know if he's gonna, you know what I mean. And then he can't go take a rest. He can't go sit
because the young players we have, they ain't no dogs. They're all scary and whack. Yeah. They got the life sucked out of them, and they just quit. They just gave up.
I think when you look at Russ and Austin, ended with 17 and 16. Both with one. I think Russ was a negative 30 and Reed was a negative
30,
15.
bro, in 24 minutes.
They don't make no sense. But also I'm looking at. I want to look back. I think it was just maybe his field goal percentage because he shot 40% from 3, 43% from the field goals, and then I think it was the free throws. He went 1 for 2 from the free throw for 50%. I think that's what killed it because other than that, he had no turnovers. Like he had no turnover. He went 17. He had 3 fouls.
But he's not doing any his contribution ain't doing nothing.
So for being honest, Lakers and Mavericks was basically 2 teams where one needs help and one needs help. Yeah, like, that's essentially what it is.
No, but this is the second game that I feel as though like Luka's players on his team stepped up because I felt like from what we've been seeing, like Wood actually scoring. You know?
Christian dropped 30, bro.
I know. Dinwiddie actually scoring. So it's like when they can actually do what they want to do, he has some type of help. You know, that third quarter, they went crazy.
Tim Hardaway Jr. had 16 in the third. Like
crazy in that third quarter.
That's Dallas, though, isn't it not? Like when we look at that squad, it is Luka and shooters around him. Sometimes they get hot, sometimes they just off. So it's like
as a team, you gotta know you can't stop him for an entire game. You had him in the first half, but he finished with 10 points. But in the first half,
They win.
The stuff was good. They just started hitting. That third put 51 up in the third.
51
That's
points.
crazy.
Everything was dropping. Nothing was falling for them in the first half. But it's like, was Doris on that game?
Who was it?
Was Doris talking on that game?
No, I don't think so. I think she was on the Celtics game.
No, she does Celtics. Mass. But whoever was in the background talking, they stated that they got the life sucked out of them, and they were babies, and they didn't know how to let that beat down in third quarter go.
It was 17 by Russell, 16 by Austin, 38 by Bron, and everybody else didn't get over 10 points.
They were up by 12 in the third.
Yeah.
The Mavericks went 9 for 13 from 3.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta know.
That's ridiculous. Like, so here's the thing, right? And I told y'all this. Anytime I feel bad for Brian, I know it's a problem.
Big fact.
Like, because I don't, there's no remorse. Like, yo, you're the best player in the league more than everybody else.
And he came out. They all came out full of energy. He was in attack mode early, getting to the basket.
Yeah.
My type of game.
Hey,
and then they just stood away from trying to shoot. You can't shoot. What are you doing?
But I hate the fact that his career is going to end like this. Because unfortunately, I don't see a way out from up under all this. Because there was a report, Bleacher Report said that the Lakers don't plan on giving up their first round draft picks. That's the only capital you got. Because
give it up.
Who's going to want AD? You know what I'm saying? Like, AD's a great player.
To speak to the comment you just made, though, which there's a little respect there for me. So there was some that came out that said they don't want to trade those first round picks and make similar mistakes that they already made trying to be in win now mode. And I said, okay, at least you acknowledge the mistakes you made, because this ain't working. This whole experiment ain't working. AD ain't been on the court. You brought Russ in because you feel like he could fill the spot when one of those two go down. He hasn't done that, and he's exceeding in his role off the bench. So now you need to bring in somebody. Did I send that trade to y'all? I think they traded with the Washington Wizards.
That's not happening.
I mean, no, I'm just saying, but that made sense because you still got Bron, you still got Russell, and then you bring in somebody like a Bradley Beal who's a scorer.
But what does Bradley Beal actually bring to a team? Like, and I'm saying this with all love because somebody had to get me straight because I'm a big Bradley Beal fan. Yeah. But what is Bradley Beal really bringing to the team? Because right now, Kuz is the best player on the Wizards.
I just think I would say when it's time to score, like from Bradley.
Yeah,
but we get both of them though.
But right now,
we get both of them.
Maybe it's one of those
Kyle
things
and Brad.
where,
yeah.
Maybe it's one of those things where Brad needs to be in a different place. I'm not sure because I've always been a huge, and I still am. But I have to ask, like, yo, he's getting like what 250 mil? You know,
he's not on
Rockets, but you know,
a lot of money.
What are you really going to be getting?
I feel like some environments are just maybe a different environment will bring out a different player in him. Like as I was watching the Nets game yesterday, so many people commented like Allen didn't do that when he was over here. Yeah, but when he got to the Cavs, it was a different environment, a different style of play, a different like.
But Jared Allen did do that.
Not like that. Not really.
Not like that.
Okay. Did he not do it, or did he not get the playing time to do it when he was there?
You may be right.
Mix of both.
Like that. Like that's the thing. Like.
But in that trade, you get Bill, Kuzma, who's the big man? I forget the big man.
Bro, nobody's going for that trade.
Nah, watch out. Gafford, this has been solid.
That's not even happening on 2K, bro. That's nobody.
Give him Pat, give him Anthony, Dennis.
I don't know why they got Pat. I don't know why they got Schroeder. Like what? What was you thinking?
But you gotta think that what they did for Win now and those mistakes that they made in the past. When you look at Alex Caruso, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, these are players you could have kept. We could have been okay and worked it out for a year or two and got them boys right.
I said that because
you've been saying that though. You've been saying that.
Brandon Ingram would have been just as good, in my opinion, if you gave him some time with Brian as AD.
And that's all they needed. All they needed was time with Brian.
Yep.
Well,
and we didn't get to see that. So this is what we got to look at this season. And I mean,
How many picks? When do the Lakers actually get to use their pick? Because don't the Pelicans basically can swap on like what the next two, right? The next two first rounds.
Yeah.
The next
two.
So that's nasty work, bro.
Yeah, bro.
They're the top
we got
right
finesse.
now.
They
And
definitely got finesse.
Played. Just
I'm not even gonna lie. I wouldn't even take
Definitely Merry Christmas.
I wouldn't
Merry
even take
Christmas.
I wouldn't even take Wembanyama. I'm not gonna lie. I would take the boy Scooter. I think Scooter would be a better fit for New Orleans because the whole thing.
Okay, we're talking fit now. Okay.
Yeah, I like Wembanyama. Like he's great, but yo, I feel like something tells me that's gonna be a liability. Like I just don't know. He's a really tall guy. There's an injury history there. That's the only thing about it. Like, yeah, he could be a generational talent, but Scooter is too. Like, I think if Wembanyama was not in this draft, we would be talking about him in a greater conversation.
Big fact. I'm not mad. And to your point about Bill, he's averaging 23, 6, and 5 right now. So it's not like a
nasty.
It's not a 200 million plus contract type of stats we talking about.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? Now let's get to this game that I really enjoyed. I do think the best game of the night was Phoenix and Denver, but I really enjoyed watching Milwaukee and Boston. So I want to talk to this game just because these are two of the top tier teams in the Eastern Conference, teams that we're going to see at the end of the postseason that could probably go up against each other, including Philly, Brooklyn, teams like that. What did you take? I mean, obviously they end up getting beat and losing by 21, but for most of the game, I was okay, right? And then I forgot who were we talking about yesterday who kept them in the game when Giannis was going to the bench? Joe Ingles, who was hitting timely shots, right? What about that game? Obviously, the regular season is a regular season, but losing by 21 on Christmas Day, there's something to be talked about because people take that win very seriously. That's just me. But what do you take into that seat? And see, I'll start with you. What do you take into the second half of the season when you're seeing teams like Philly, like Brooklyn, Boston, Milwaukee, who are battling out? And sometimes it is lopsided. Is Boston just that much better than Milwaukee, or we're just seeing they had a subpar game in Boston? Milwaukee having a subpar game.
Milwaukee got to figure out how to win without Chris Middleton if they're going to beat teams like Boston, the Philly, the way Brooklyn's been playing. You have to figure out a way to win without Chris Middleton, because when he's not on that court, they look like a totally different team. And if they do not figure it out, I know Giannis is going to use this as fuel because he uses any loss as fuel, but if they don't figure it out, they're just not going to go in the playoffs. Like of course they're gonna win, but they're not gonna take it home if they can't figure it out how to win without him.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely
Brooklyn's just getting better. I would, I hate, and I've always said it. I do not like JT and Jaylen Brown together, but watching them play, woo, man,
solid.
And I hated their style of playing together. But when they don't play iso ball, one-on-one, they're ridiculous.
They're dynamic. They're definitely dynamic. Well, what you thinking, man? Look at these two teams play against each other.
The Eastern Conference is a hit or miss because you have teams who are completely dominant, who just don't match up well with other teams. I think C makes a great point that if they don't find a way to win without Chris Middleton, it's going to end up costing them probably Giannis's health later on, because he's going to try to play hero ball. He's going to try to dominate
every game.
He was minus 27. Like, he was minus 27. That's rare for Giannis. And it's easy to be like, oh, the Celtics may have their number, but I don't think that's it. I mean, I think it's a perfect storm of Jason Tatum is literally playing lights out. Like, Jason Tatum right now is the best player in the NBA, hands down. Jaylen Brown is playing that perfect sidekick right now, but then you also have to look at the fact that Boston went 19 for 39 from 3. Like, that's not going to happen every game.
Yeah,
and when you consider the fact that the Bucks were missing that offense from Chris Middleton, and Boston was literally shooting lights out. It's one of those things where it's hard for me to be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, Boston is head and shoulders because this is the same Boston team that's losing 2 games to Chicago.
Yeah, but they're deep. But they figured it out after that.
And Orlando.
But
so you say that the shooting that they're not going to shoot that way, but their defense is there. They had 18 points off turnovers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't take anything away from it. Like, I don't want to make it sound like that because they played a great game. But it's just one of those things where I think the Celtics get up for the Bucks game more than anything else because they have even more to prove. Like, my issues with the Celtics is you got a first round series. If you playing one of these teams that's been your Achilles heel, what are you going to do? I want to see them do that consistently. Now, Tatum was ridiculous, I think, in like the third quarter. Like they played really, really great.
This is their 8th game was 70 points together, Jalen and Jason.
And
eighth combined. Yeah, this is the 8th game where they combined for 70 points.
You look at the Bucks, Drew Holiday's getting older, even though he gave you 23 that game. Like the Bucks really are not as deep as people want to say. They just got Giannis. So
facts.
Everybody getting better, man. And
you ain't lied on that one. I got 3 takeaways from that game. I got 1. Every person that's on the floor can shoot a 3. From 1 to 5, that's impressive, and it's scary if they start hitting. I remember watching in the NBA Finals when they're playing in Golden State, and Al Horford just starts draining them. You're like,
yeah,
I don't even know what to do, and he's just shooting.
He's the one who got them to win, last year.
And I'm like, what in the world? That's my first takeaway. Every person can shoot 3. That's the first takeaway. My second takeaway, they are amazing together, but they fall victim to this ISO ball. And in the playoffs, it may rear its ugly head. Now, Jason Tatum is obviously he's great one-on-one, right? But if you're gonna slow the game down like that, those missed shots that he's taking on those ISO plays are gonna hurt you in the long run. Because
I feel like Jalen plays more ISO than Jason.
You think so? Really?
Yes.
I think Jason is just so like, watch out, man.
I feel like Jalen plays more like ISO ball than Jason.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is their style of play are different.
I know. And I feel
I definitely like that. So that'll be my second takeaway. My third takeaway, which is absolutely crazy. Jason Tatum is the best player on that team, right? But I'd probably start a team with Jaylen Brown, if I'm being honest. That's just me. The way that I like to play and the way that he plays off ball, I absolutely love it. Like Jason Tatum he's not bad at what he does. I think I just like Jalen because he does the dirty things. He does the dirty work. And I like that part of Jalen's game.
His patience when driving to the basket, it's just amazing.
Oh yeah, he's very patient.
Is just I love it. I'm agreeing with you with the whole starting the team with Jalen.
I want to argue that.
See him here at Pebblebrook.
You want to argue that?
I want to argue that, but I can't. Like,
but when you think about it, you like you said, you can't.
So, okay.
Think about it. I mean, go ahead.
You're
probably right because as great as Jason is, Jalen is more of a utility man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like they both play great. They both play on both sides of the ball, but Jalen does seem to be like more of a spark plug on top of everything else. So I mean, I can agree. I just think that's weird.
Okay, but just look at this. Remember when I sent you guys the MVP? Then what happened to Jason?
Oh yeah,
that's a fact. That's a big fact. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a Christmas miracle, Charlie Brown.
Show me more consistency in like every game in the second half of the season, then we can talk about it again.
Yeah.
As far as who you want to start your team with based off of Jalen or Jason, but you know what I mean, because he's inconsistent and with his scoring.
There's that number. There's those there's like those superstars to me that are on the cusp that I struggle with, and it's Jason Tatum and Devin Booker. Like Y'all are amazing players.
Yeah, they're
There's
certified
just certain
buckets.
instances where I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? And why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But I want to look at a stat, though. I have to look at the stat for Jason
Talk about it.
because in the month of December, he always plays off.
Really?
So I want to see, is it just this year or is
Yeah.
it every year that he
Oh,
plays?
got you. Yeah,
In
definitely.
the month of
look it up,
December.
bro.
You know, his son's birthday's in the month of December, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, Christmas,
Be
everything.
dad, you know, I just want to see what it's like
Yeah.
in the month of December since he's been in the league. So if his numbers dwindle in the month of December, then
Definitely.
you know.
So when in about a year or two, when we have that person, we can say, "Hey, look this stat up for me and tell me." And he'll tell us in our ear.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll do that then. Okay.
Bet.
As for right now, we'll tell you next week.
I mean, I could be on my phone and look, but it's just gonna be too long.
Hey man, you already know. Let's move on to the next one, man. Obviously, this has obviously become a rivalry. You know what? I can't even say it's a rivalry because the Grizzlies keep losing. So it's not really. This is my thing, because when you look at rivalries and you talk about like New Orleans and Atlanta, you know what I mean, or like Celtics and the Lakers, or just those teams you go, they just go back a while. Memphis has been brought up recently for Golden State because of how young they are, how reckless they play, and how reckless they talk. That's really what's been. And
That's
Draymond
exactly what
loves
I
every
said.
moment of it.
That's
Say it
what I
again?
said. Ja want to be out giving interviews. Oh, I got the West. I
Yeah.
got this, and bam, lose.
Gave you 36, 8, and 7, and just they couldn't win because now, mind you, his second player had 13 points. So Ja's in the midst of needing, which he has help. They just didn't show up that game. When you talk about Dylan Brooks or Jaren Jackson Jr., like when you talk about, he has some help. He didn't get it that game. Jordan Poole and Golden State just looked amazing.
Can I ask for a trade, like a fantasy trade?
What's up?
Can we trade DeAndre Ayton to the Grizzlies for Jaren Jackson Jr.?
That'd be solid.
I like Jaren Jackson, but
Yeah.
fam, if you can't stay on the court,
Yeah, he's not consistent.
that dynasty is not happening.
Yeah.
Like, he played probably like 15 good minutes of basketball, and I get that he's physical and he does all those things, but at some point it's like, fam, this has been like your issue for like the past, few years when you're healthy. Like, he's a great player.
Yeah.
And the Grizzlies are really creating something dope there. But when your anchor can't stay on the court, you're gonna get cooked. And then, like, I get, like, y'all want to stand up to the bully, y'all want to do all that, but fam, you poking the bear too much.
Big facts.
And the fact that Jordan Poole, who unfortunately, y'all gonna kill me for saying this, I don't fully believe in Jordan Poole yet as deserving the money that he got.
Really?
I just don't.
Not
Jordan
that much
Poole,
money. He deserved money, but not that much money.
He put up 32 last night.
He put up 32, but
on
he's
Christmas.
not. But he's not super efficient when he does it. Like,
Yeah.
Jordan Poole goes out and he plays, and it might be because he's young, but I'm not seeing what I want to see consistently from him, like we saw from him like last season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those moments when Steph wasn't there. I think that's the whole thing. Dante was a great pickup for them.
DiVincenzo was doing
it.
He was doing it from the Bucks.
Even it shot Villanova. What up? And
Big.
even Draymond gave you like a double with no points.
13. He had 1-3.
So it's like one of those things where it's like the Grizzlies have the full advantage and you still couldn't pull that win out. And it's just one of those things where it's a combination of them being young, but it's also like a humbling moment because whether the Warriors are super good right now or not, you cannot talk junk to the defending champs and then not win the game.
This is what I take from the game, right? This is what I take from the game. Few takes. I'll finish on my last one. Ja gave you 36, 7, and 8. Mm-hmm. The nearest person to him was Dylan Brooks at 13 points. He was the only player. There wasn't a single player who had a positive plus minus.
Wow.
Well, Steven Adams, he had 2. That was the only person. Everybody else was a negative for their plus minus.
And then to see Steph on the side, like coaching Poole, amazing.
Yes.
Just
And
growing
then
young.
let's
Clay's
move over to
just-
Golden State. No Steph, and they had 6 players in double figures. 6 players. Jordan Poole leads it with 32, Clay with 24, DiVincenzo with 19, Ty Jerome off the bench gave you 14, and then Anthony Lamb. You know who Anthony Lamb is? Yeah. Me neither. He gave you 11.
I knew who he was that night.
I know who
found
he
out-
is. He's not
I
a
found
bad
out
player, but he's
Christmas.
I
like,
knew who he was on Christmas. Sure did. Because I was
Big
like, what's
fact.
Slam guy doing?
And then Dre gives you 13 rebounds and 13 assists. Like when you're talking about cerebral and playing, there is something to be said about a team who knows who they are. And that's the problem. Even without our star player, our best player, we know what we're looking for. And I think my last takeaway from that game is Steve Kerr is a great coach.
Great.
Like just hands down, flat out. I don't have my star, but I know what we do. And
But I know what I
be able
have,
to get that
and I
team
know
to
how to
buy in.
use it.
Oh yeah, to get that team to buy in to not having Steph out there, Jordan Poole being their go-to guy. Think about what Clay has to do, right? The perspective and the mindset to say, "Oh, Steph's out. I'm the number one guy." No, Poole's a scorer.
But that's the thing though. I feel like they need to run the offense more through Clay because Clay you can double team. Clay will kick it out. Jordan Poole can get more efficient shots. That's my issue is that Jordan will come down the court. He won't even look the pass. And he just will throw that joint up like
Pool potty.
I will say this though. I would much rather Poole set up and get double or have people collapsing on him because Clay is the better shooter, right? He doesn't need a dribble like those. So I think you're trying to play to Clay's style of play because running the offense through him isn't. I won't say that it's not.
But the Warriors, as great a coach as Kurt is, the Warriors lucked out because when Jordan Poole plays like that, they always end up losing.
This is true.
So like. You have to find that balance if Steph is not playing between him and Clay. Something has to happen. Like, of course, Clay hasn't fully returned to form yet, and he always does something great, like towards the end of the season. But the thing about it is like if your number one scorer, which is Jordan Poole right now, is literally just coming down and he just kind of jacking up shots. Like he still has to learn. Like he's a dope player, but it's just like right now he got Russell Westbrook tendency sometimes. You gotta come down court, big dog. Like he came down court one time and it was like 19 seconds left on the shot clock and he just shot the ball and it's like
no passes, like pass that thing around a few times.
Yeah, I feel it. So let's move to the last game, man, which I feel was jam packed, right? Because you have all the talk with Phoenix and New Orleans and what they got going on. I think Phoenix really, man, they just getting beat up in the Western Conference. Like because of what they've done the last 2 seasons, they are looked at as a Western Conference juggernaut. And these teams are knocking Phoenix off. Phoenix
was looked at as what?
I don't see.
The Western Conference, like they've been top 5 in the West the last 3 years.
Your response was
no, that's not what you said. You said juggernaut. They are not a juggernaut.
I said they're looked at as that.
Who looks at them like that?
They just came off of like 2 deep postseason runs. Besides getting beat by Dallas last season.
They lost in the playoffs when it mattered most. So clearly,
wow.
What juggernaut team are you talking
but
about?
So they are one of the better teams in the Western Conference. And when you talk about those teams and playing, I think Devin Booker, like Will said earlier, is a certified bucket.
Definitely.
But sometimes that doesn't translate well. And you're like, okay, so what does that really look like? Now the Nuggets with that win are number 1 in the Western Conference, 1 game ahead of New Orleans, and 2 games ahead of Memphis. So when you're talking about somebody, I mean, the game went down to the wire. They go into OT. I think the teams. I think you had Devin Booker or Shamet. Shamet led Phoenix with 31.
He went out.
Devin Booker went out
with a groin injury. So I was definitely shocked that the game went into OT.
Yeah,
I was shocked because
I'm not sold on the Nuggets though. So I
don't think a lot of people are sold on the Nuggets because of what they've done in the postseason. But I think with Jamal back and that solid squad, with Jamal and Yoke playing that 2-man game, still got Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, like. These are pieces. KCP is on there as well. Like I like that team, and I like them to make a deep run. But like you said, I do get nervous in the second and third rounds of the playoffs with Denver.
I don't get nervous. I just know what they're gonna do. The Nuggets are literally a regular season team. They're literally like how we look at the Suns. They haven't proven anything to me yet. Like, yeah, Jokic is giving you 41, 15, and 15. That's great, right? But look at the team that he's playing. Like, he's not playing a team that can double him down low. You got DeAndre Ayton, and then you got Mikal Bridges.
DeAndre Ayton is so soft.
Right. So it's just one of those things where it's just like in a 7-game series, if a team collapses on him the same way they collapse on Giannis, it's the same thing. And that's usually what happens. Like that's what happens.
But he's a better passer than Giannis is. So
he's a better passer than Giannis, but he can barely move.
Ayton had pissed me off in that game.
Who
because did? Ayton, because he was on the baseline right there near the basket. He turned around and gave it to someone on 3-point line. What is you doing?
Yeah.
I'm just not sold on the Nuggets yet, and I don't really care what people think about it. It don't really matter to me. I mean, yeah.
I will say this though. They play a very efficient game, and I like that you just don't see error shots like going up, and I think that's owed to the coach and the style of play that they have. All their starters were plus in their plus minuses.
But does that go
plus 11, 18, 12?
But is that going to in postseason? Is that going to work? No.
You let Landry Shamet get 31 points, and he shot 7 from 17 from 3-point and stop it.
You get what I'm? So yes, this have like Will said. Yes, it works in the regular season, but like
when everybody's healthy and everybody's on killer instinct mode in the playoffs,
it's different.
It's
just so different. Like look at the Clippers. Oh my god.
So you're just not sold on them.
The Clippers are scary.
It's scary. Okay, I would.
No, I'm not sold. And Kawhi's starting to give you 25 and 10 again. You are not going to.
I wish he would stop resting, but
yeah, well, I mean, it's a knee injury, so it's going to take time. Yeah. But you are not going to do this in the playoffs in a 7-game series consistently. Like we saw that happen to Jokic last year and the year before that. It's just not going to happen. Michael Porter is not the player everybody wants him to be consistently. Like he shows up every 8-9 games.
For sure.
Jamal is starting to get that form back. That's still going to take time because he hadn't played basketball for like a full year. Yeah. Aaron Gordon is an amazing bright spot. That was probably one of the best pickups that Denver could have gotten.
For sure.
But the fact is, you let Landry Shamet score 31.
When I looked at the numbers and I
shooter though, he just throwing up shots. He's
7 for 17.
Exactly. There you go. Just throwing up shots.
He throws up shots. That's what Landry.
So I want you to imagine this, right? It was 128-125 with Landry Shamet in the game and Devin Booker not. Now imagine a healthy Devin Booker playing in the game.
Oh, he's certified bucket.
They're not winning with Chris Paul getting older, and you still it's only a 3-point game. Aaron Gordon had to go Space Jam for them to win.
You see how I was so like I was shocked. I was like, oh wow,
yeah.
They still and Devin Booker went out in the first quarter.
Yeah, so I mean I get it. I think they're going to be solid. I think that I don't think any teams would still want to see them at all, but I guess I get what you're saying in terms of their defensive prowess and what they can do. Offensively, they don't have any issues. They can score with the best of them. So I get what
you don't want to see them, but they don't want to see teams because both teams shot like I think 48% from the field. So when you ain't playing defense,
we'll end with this, man. Let me give me who's in the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals, and who you think wins. I think those two teams, Eastern Conference, I'm probably looking 1 and 2. So usually you get 1-8, 2-7, and they usually get to meet at the end. So I'm not mad at Celtics and the Bucks. Honestly, I'm really not at them meeting. If whoever's in third or fourth will usually see the first place team in the second round. So I think if the Nets stay where they are, they're going to see Celtics quickly, and they may get out. So I'm gonna go Celtics and Bucks. In the Eastern Conference Finals. Western Conference, I will go. I gotta say, I think the Pelicans make the Western Conference Finals, bro. I really believe that. It's hard to say that because of where they were last year and what we did to get AD. Pelicans are who though? I think Nuggets may get knocked out maybe the second round. Pelicans and I'm gonna go New Orleans and the Clippers. I'll go Pelicans and Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. See who comes out there to go to the finals. We'll see.
For East, I'm gonna go based off of what we have, like what we've seen now. I'm gonna do the Celtics and I'm gonna do Philly.
I've been watching it too, man. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be doing this. I'll do Celtics and Philly.
Celtics and Philly, okay.
In the West, I am going to do the Clippers and the Pelicans.
Same. I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard. What you got, big dog?
I think we're unanimous on that Western Conference because I just got a feeling that the Clippers are just going to do something crazy in the second half.
Yeah, man. If they
Paul
stay
George
healthy,
is just
it's a hard team to beat.
Yeah. In the East, I'm thinking about seeding.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Giannis is going to find a way to get the Bucks back to where they need to be.
Yeah.
And I think we finally going to get Bucks Sixers.
That'd be nice. So do the Sixers stay around 4th or 5th?
I think Sixers probably end up 3rd or 4th because I think the Nets are going to continue to play great, but ultimately in the playoffs, people are going to collapse on Ben.
They're 9 straight right now.
Yeah, but I think ultimately people are going to collapse on Ben. So I think Philly is Doc is gonna dock. So Philly probably still gonna hit probably 49 to 52 games. They'll finish 3rd or 4th. They'll have a complicated map to get there, but I think Harden is hungry. I think when Maxey comes back fully healthy, he plays great, and whoever the Sixers get in the Eastern Conference, it goes 7 games. So I'm still gonna take my Sixers based off the fact of I think Embiid really wants it this year.
He
is
in
the Western Conference. I just don't see anybody doing anything more than the Clippers and the Pelicans.
Yeah,
it could be the Grizzlies.
Could be.
I gotta see how they take this loss.
It's all season,
I gotta take how the Grizzlies take this loss again on Christmas Day.
How they bounce back?
Humble them, yeah. Does that I feel like they needed this win a little. I mean, lost a little bit
for sure
to bring them back down to reality.
I think they'll be solid. I think in the way that you look at how the bracket goes, because it's 1-8, 4-5, 3-6, 2-7. So whoever's in that first and second, they usually meet, which will be good. Obviously, Celtics and the Bucks. But then depending on whoever, like that fifth play, let's say if they seed it right now, you would have Celtics versus the Pacers, Bucks versus the Hawks, Nets versus the Knicks, and Cavaliers against the 76ers. And whoever wins that plays the Celtics in the second round. So
whoever wins which one?
Whoever wins Cavaliers, Cleveland and Philly play Celtics in the second round.
That'll go 5 games.
5?
That'll go 5 games.
Not 6?
Wait, right. Darius was wild.
I was thinking
night.
6, man. I think
you're
the better team now. You're the better team.
Why it goes 5. Yeah, they're a better team. But have you seen what Joel does to the Cavaliers when they're fully healthy? It's just not. I'm not trying to be funny, but for some reason he gets up for that. I'm gonna tell you what's going to happen in the Western Conference. If the Nuggets end up matching up in like the second round with the Clippers, it's over.
Yeah, let's see.
The Clippers going to figure that out.
Yeah. So if we go now, you got Nuggets and Blazers, Pelicans and the Mavericks, which I would love that in the first round. That's amazing. Memphis and Sacramento, then Clippers and Suns.
I ain't even gonna hold you, man. The Blazers might ace out the Nuggets, bro.
Ouch! Come on, man.
Are you serious? Do you see how the Blazers are playing right now?
I hear you, but in the first round,
being
number 1 seed,
the first is Supersonics, Denver Nuggets all over again. I'm telling you.
I don't know, because the way Damian is playing, Anthony, sorry, it's
nasty. and they got
And
they
what's
got
their
14K.
big man's name? Is it what's his name?
Anthony Simons,
No,
Uric, or something like
thank
that.
you.
Nurkic.
Nurkic. There you go.
Yeah, Nurkic.
He's playing big. There's no. They'll be out in 6.
So you're not. Yeah, I don't believe in y'all Lakers anymore.
Man, watch out, bro.
I'm still standing on what I said. The season is not over.
We'll be in the play-in.
Stand on it, see.
Ain't we like okay? So what are we? It was 6 games away.
We are 13-20. Yeah, so 6 games.
And
7. We're 13-20. We are 5 games out of 7th place.
That's not when you. I mean, yes, when you think about it, the
It's easy.
Lakers.
It's easy to laugh when your team nice. Chill out, Will.
But at the end of the day,
Rude,
we said it. We didn't say. The thing about it is, we didn't say.
Hope
We
y'all
did
get
not
beat in the
say
playoffs.
mid-season. We did not say nothing. I said at the end of the season, they would be in the 5th seed.
I feel it.
They're gonna be in the 5th seed at the end of the season.
Yep, and I'm gonna still stand on what I said.
5th seed?
No, stand
Yep.
on that.
We're 7 games away from 5. We are what 7 games away from 7.
7 games.
Yeah, 5th place is 6 games away.
4 games.
5th place, we're 6 games away. Come on, when you think about it, it's really not that. Come on, you act like it's 14.
You're on a 4-game losing streak. See,
Listen, and
We're 7 games out of 4th place.
we have it. Listen, and your Philly, your Philly's gonna be Phillied by docking it.
your point guard is a -30. See, and your backup point guard is Patrick Beverly.
I
-30. See,
He was only -9. All right?
See,
no, because he's a dog. No, he
See.
ain't no dog. Yes,
See.
he's a dog, but he's a dog that don't do nothing.
see,
Does all that talking and rattling and can't make a bucket.
See, you sound like the girl that
He got 14 right now.
I don't care what he has.
What would you do when your son was at home crying all
We're up 10 on Orlando right now.
I would have been like, they just need someone to slap him around a little bit. I need to be on their bench.
Everybody's slapping them around. See,
No.
Hey, chill out.
Within there, I feel like they're not telling each other really like, what's up? Like, yo, bro, what are you doing? You stink.
Yo, you know those memes
You
that they
stink.
share? You know those memes they share? They be like, yo, she's a 10, but she's a Lakers fan. There you go, see.
Hey,
I'm
watch
always
out,
10,
bro.
and I'm gonna be a 10 as a Laker fan. I'm gonna be not a Laker
Hey,
fan,
watch
I'm a
out,
LeBron
man.
fan.
If
I'm a
you're
LeBron
10,
James fan, and my guy is
you're-
absolutely
if-
amazing.
if you're a 10 when you're a Lakers fan and the Lakers are 13 right now, right? Technically, you're a -3.
No, I'm not. That's your takeaway, and I guarantee you, everybody I ask, gonna be like, "Yeah, you're a 10." I'm like, "Yeah,
I
I know."
love it.
Everybody,
Look, man, y'all tap.
everybody you ask think I be eating feet. See, I'm not. No.
Well,
You did that.
In the
you
show,
did that.
In
You
the
did
show.
that.
in the show, bro.
You did that.
In the show.
Oh!
Y'all know exactly what it is.
I walk
man.
right into it.
Y'all
You-
know
you
exactly
sure
what
did.
it is, man.
You
The full
sure
94 here on
Lord.
MTV Sports. Man, hey, Will, how to get in contact with you, baby?
Mr. Teddy Farrow. You know what I'm saying? Catch me on all them platforms, except for Instagram, because Instagram I'm William Teddy Farrow. Because for some reason somebody imitate me. I don't know why. Who else is gonna be me but me? Your skin ain't luxurious like mine. Catch me on the main event Tuesdays. Well, and then Culture Gumbo on Fridays. And I want to smoke.
All day, every day.
I want to smoke. And hi to the aunties. You know what I'm saying? I'm flirting with aunties 45 and below, and 27 and up. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I look 25 right now. So I'm flirting with aunties.
Please tell me how to get in contact with you.
I really don't want no fried food right now because I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to get my blood pressure down. I'm trying to get one ab. So if you flirt with me, don't bring me no fried foods. I just want coconut water.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
some
Please
avocado.
tell them how they get in contact with you. See,
And I don't like feet. I don't care what seeds people say. I don't like feet.
Guys, I just need to say this because I don't know why that has to do with me. I don't like feet.
Yo, see, you co-signed it.
You did.
And you let the people believe it. So then the homies was in the barbershop like, oh, you eat feet. No, I don't. Okay. First of all, I'm too fat to eat feet because I got asthma. So if I put a foot in my mouth, I'm probably gonna pass out and die.
Not a whole foot, just put a little toe or something. Anyway,
Yo, see, no.
you guys can find me
Tell 'em where you
at
at.
Sports Talk with C on all platforms, and make sure you guys tune in every Sunday at 1:00 for a new episode.
Her episodes be fire, but she thirst trap with C on TikTok, so make sure y'all follow.
You know it, man. Look,
Thirst
I am
trapping
Miles
has
Austin
stopped.
on everything. Check it out. I am Miles Austin on everything. Hit us up, man. You want to talk to 494 Podcast on IG, 494 Podcast on Twitter. Talk to us. Y'all want the smoke, we'll get a smoke always. You know how it is. You want to talk basketball, this is where basketball lives. Come on, Doc. Y'all be safe, man. The 494 Podcast here on MTMV
See you guys
Sports.
Monday. Wait,
Yes,
maybe
sir.
not.